Hi, friends. Are you ready for a cozy story? This one is called The Little Pond's Big Secret. Let's get started.
Before we dive in, let me ask you something. Have you ever felt like, deep down, you were meant to do something really special? Well, the little pond in our story felt that way too.
All right, so our story begins on a farm. And on this farm, there was a farmer who had a really big idea. He wanted to make something brand new.
So, one day, this farmer grabbed his shovel and he started to dig. And he dug, and he dug, and he dug some more. And then guess what? Something incredible happened. Whoosh! Water started bubbling up right out of the ground. It filled up the big hole, and just like that, it became a brand new, beautiful little pond. The farmer looked down at the new little pond, and he smiled. He leaned in really close and whispered a secret just for the pond to hear. He said, "You, my little one, are destined for greatness." The pond didn't know what that meant, but it held on to those words tight.
Well, the pond's first summer started, and you know what's so great about summer? Friends. And this little pond didn't have to wait long at all. Soon it was full of them. First up were the ducks. They'd fly way up high, and then swoosh! They'd stick their little webbed feet out and just skid right across the water. Can you imagine? It didn't hurt a bit. It actually tickled. It made the little pond giggle and ripple with fun. Next, a sweet little calf came over. She was a little shy, but the pond's water was so calm and welcoming. The calf stepped in, and the cool water felt so good on her legs. And the pond? It loved feeling the calf's big, gentle tongue as she took a nice long drink. Oh, and the friends just kept on coming. There was the farmer's dog, always splashing around. There were muskrats who would swim and dive way down deep. Even a tiny little kitten would come by for a little drink. And at night, when everything was quiet, gentle deer would visit under the stars. The whole summer was just full of fun and splashing and friends. The little pond felt so happy and so loved. It thought, this is the best. This is the best life ever.
But you know how summer doesn't last forever? As the days got a little cooler and a little shorter, a new kind of feeling started to bubble up inside the pond. A not so happy feeling.
And then one day, some new visitors showed up. Geese! A whole flock of them. They were on a long trip to somewhere warm, and they stopped at the pond for a rest. And boy, did they have stories to tell. Stories about all the incredible things they had seen on their travels. So the geese were honking all about these giant lakes so big you couldn't even see the other side. And this thing called an ocean with huge ships sailing on it. And when the little pond heard all this, it looked around, and all it saw was, well, just the little farm. It suddenly felt very, very small and kind of stuck. So after hearing about all those huge, exciting places, how do you think that made our little pond feel? Yeah, that's right. The pond started to feel small, unimportant. It even got a little grumpy at the farmer. It thought to itself, why did he just make me a little pond? He said I was supposed to be great. But then, one night, when the pond was feeling its very, very saddest, a quiet, wise friend showed up in the sky and was ready to listen. So that night, the pond just felt awful. All its summer friends were gone, it was all alone, it just felt so stuck. And it sighed a big, watery sigh and said out loud, I guess I was never destined for greatness after all. But wait, someone was listening. A soft, kind voice asked, What's the matter, little pond? And the pond looked up, and there it was, the big, beautiful, glowing moon. They had never really talked before. The moon was a very good listener. After the pond told it everything, the moon shared a secret. The moon said, I've seen those big oceans, but their water's salty. And I've seen those giant lakes, but they're so wavy, I can't ever see myself in them. But when I look down at you, the moon said, your water is so still and calm that I can see a perfect picture of myself. And then the moon told the pond the biggest, most wonderful secret of all. Do you know why the farmer made you? The moon asked.
Every night, he comes and sits right over there, on that bench, just to see me shining in your perfectly still water. It helps him feel peaceful and happy.
And just like that, everything made sense. The little pond finally understood what the farmer meant. It wasn't just happy. It was something deeper. It was a feeling of being perfectly, wonderfully satisfied. The pond knew it was exactly where it was supposed to be, doing exactly what it was meant to do. The pond realized its greatness wasn't about being giant like an ocean. Its greatness was being a fun home for its friends. Its greatness was giving water to all the thirsty plants and helping the trees grow tall. But the most special part of its greatness was making the farmer happy every single night.
So, our little pond learned that being great doesn't always mean being the biggest or the loudest. Sometimes greatness is quiet and kind, and it's right where you are. And that makes me wonder, what's your own special kind of greatness?